Yeah, YouTube family, the Maverick in the space one more time. Still, the best and most credible opinion. Still, fair and fearless analysis. I may have some residual thoughts about how the season seemed to be ending for sprint superstars Kishane Thompson and of course SHERICKA Jackson. The two MVP big stars them, on the male side and the female side. We see what happened at the Olympics. Kishane fall short of the glory by, you know, the margin. See? And SHERICKA, of course, never even graced the track. And me just think about it and me I say, yo, Kishane is supposed to run a couple of Diamond League meets after the Olympics. It was a no-show. SHERICKA, well, she don't run none at all from she get that injury there before the Olympics. I think it was one of them meet up at Hungary there. And me I say, yo, I saw the season I just peter out for the two big stars them. We're not going to see them again for the rest of the season. And look here, you know, my mind flash back to, you remember when Coach David Riley and Frano did in a little to and fro, the little tracing match there. That whole Woolmer's internal war there. You remember when Riley did say, a drop word on Frano and say, yo, you need to tell the people them why you athlete them a pop down and I get injured, so you know. And at the time, me I think about it and say, I want to Riley. Or if you question the pedigree of the great Stephen Frano Francis, arguably the greatest coach in the history of the sport. But, me couldn't about the pressure, the messenger. Yeah, maybe Riley did out of place for a kind of style Frano, so based on the amount of success we Frano have. But at the same time, people, as critical thinkers, you have to look beyond the surface. I said, not because a person is great, not because a person is even the greatest, it don't mean you can't question something about them methodologies or them strategies. And when Riley said the thing about Frano's athletes and their propensity to get hurt, especially in recent times, who says something if we just dismiss? Because Frano's so great and Frano win so much and produce so much Olympic and world champions. Eh? And this season, how it a pit out right now? With SHERICKA, after promising so much last season, coming into an Olympic season. You remember how SHERICKA competed last season? You remember we come on the channel and talk about how SHERICKA was probably the most active elite athlete in all of athletics last season. And then with the kind of, you know, narrow it down to the reason, say, well, she had the cash cow up her MVP and she have to earn as much money as she can for herself and of course for the club MVP. Now, is it conceivable that the workload there that SHERICKA put in last year? Remember, it was a world championship year too, you know. But it's not even the world championship workload me I talk about, you know. Me I talk about the workload on the circuit. The amount of race that SHERICKA run last year. Would I like it tabulate and somebody give me the amount of race that SHERICKA run last year? Every partner class year SHERICKA run, you know. And me I look and say, no, maybe when in hindsight now, maybe SHERICKA overcompeted last year. Maybe she run too much last year. I remember she also had to try run down the world record there, that elusive 200-meter world record there. You know. She was in that peak of her form that she wasn't thinking about the opposition and to lose medal and all them something, you know. At the clock, SHERICKA the start run against at the latter part of the season, you know. And watch she come to the Olympic season now, lame, and wasn't even able to compete at the Olympics. And right now, it look like our season I just peter out to a tame ending. Kishane on the other hand, you remember the history of Kishane? Remember when we know Kishane, you know, well, when most of we know Kishane, Kishane did come at trials last year, not this year, last year, and run the sub 10 there, and everybody say, hey, I would have run there, and then trying to hide him. Pull him and hide him. Understand that he suffered an injury as well. He was feeling something last year. And Kishane come back this year now in a peak of form. Peak of form, favorite for win all the 100-meter title. Yeah? Get up, obviously, me hear get a tweak in the semi-final. Yeah, still run, and we know the story about the final. But from that, we don't see Kishane again. And it cannot be strategic. And money might lose. So it has got to be injuries. And here another thing we want to mention about the scenario, the entire connected scenario, is again though, how secretive have they been about the status of these athletes? What harm would it do to come out and say, people, this is the status of Kishane and Thompson? You know, much talked about athlete, probably the most talked about sprinter for the entire year, outside of our lives. And this is the status of Kishane. We're not sure the extent of the injury. He might get treatment. We hope he recovers before the end of the season and is able to make an appearance, blah, blah, blah. And say you know that for Kishane, because Kishane is a new kid on the block. Superstar SHERICKA Jackson went to the Olympics. She and her coach are telling the world that she's ready to go. Turn out, she never ready to go. She never even run a race at the Olympics. What about the courtesy of saying, hey, this is what is happening with SHERICKA. She sustained that injury before the Olympics, and you know, with the recovery projection was off a bit. We expected her to be better by now, but somehow these things seem to be more complicated than we thought before. Whatever the story is, and let us say, as you're prone to do, you don't give us the full story. Give you a story now. No story. Me tell you already, you know. This is the only sport, and this is also the only jurisdiction where we deal with the injury status of our elite athletes like a state secret. And I still try to figure out the rationale. Before the Olympics, when the status of the athletes was a secret, somebody did explain to me, say, look, in order for them to earn their bonuses from their gear companies, they have to make the Olympic team. Now, making the Olympic team now, in the aftermath of the Olympics, is not an issue. So why then we can't hear what is happening with Kishane? Why then we can't hear what is happening with SHERICKA? Me don't understand it. And normally the MVP camp is a very forthright, especially Frano. Let me not say the MVP camp. But normally Frano is a very forthright, upfront individual, you know, who tend to just lay the cards on the table and tell you what is. But me don't know, brother. Me still flabbergasted about the kind of CIA kind of way where them deal with the information as it relates to the injury status, especially and specifically, you know, the injury status of our athletes. As me said, the Olympics gone. So there's no question of them making the Olympic team to get them bonus. The Olympics don't know. Kishane will run a next race and we know your dog back. But what happened to Kishane? SHERICKA go to the Olympics and don't run a race. We not hear dog back about what happened to SHERICKA. The Jamaican fan base don't have no stake in the status of them athlete. Eh? We don't have no stake in it. We don't have no, we're not supposed to care. We're not supposed to ask. We're not supposed to wonder. Eh? We're supposed to just cheer on. When time comes to cheer on, we just cheer on. We're not supposed to business with them. And we're not supposed to criticize them too, you know. Remember that a part and parcel of the thing, you know. Anytime you make a critical comment about any of the athlete, them, it is interpreted as tearing them down. So we're not supposed to tear down. We're only supposed to cheer. We're not supposed to ask nothing about the status of the athlete, them. A fast are inquisitive. Me don't know, me just find it mysterious. Tell me if you find it mysterious too. Because we know we have some people always come on the channel, you know. You know, in a kind of disrespectful tone, I try to say, oh, you don't know about athletics, Maverick, you don't know about track and field, Maverick, you know, what would you do if you're in a position? If they didn't injure me, I tell us I'm injured. Like, come here, I go step now, I'm tell us I'm a step now. Because we don't talk about this for the time being. Maverick a step. Maverick a step. Tell me what you think about what me think. Best and most credible opinion. See that? Don't just watch the video. Subscribe, share, and tell your friend and family about the Oral Tracy Maverick YouTube channel. And tell them to watch to the end. To see when the Maverick step. Now step now. Step in time. See step ins there. Step ins. Step. You can't step like the Maverick. Watch them step here. Watch them step here, man. Watch them step here. Step.